YouTube sets you up to fail. There are default settings in your YouTube studio right now killing your reach, and you probably don't even know that they exist. This video is going to fix all of that, expose them, and get you on the right track. So let's get right into it. I'm going to start with one that can cost you and I money. I'm talking real money. I'm talking up to $42,000 per video money, and I wish I was joking. I'm talking about a federal fine. And even though it seems like, oh, that'll never happen to me, YouTube makes it way too easy to get this one wrong. If you go into your YouTube studio right now and click on any video, scroll down to the section called Audience. It asks one question: is this video made for kids? Now, I've audited channels with creators who clicked yes because they thought, well, a kid could watch my content. It's certainly not inappropriate, so yeah, I'll play it safe. And even if you go back in and uncheck it, it's too late. YouTube already decided how to treat that content. Now, this is why it's so confusing on the surface, because made for kids is the legal definition under COPPA, which is the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. And it doesn't mean appropriate for children. It doesn't mean a child might enjoy this. It means this content was specifically created to target children under the age of 13 years old as the primary audience. If you think about the difference between a nature documentary and like Miss Rachel, I have two little kids that love Miss Rachel. A 5-year-old might watch both, right? They might watch the show Planet Earth, and it's made for a general audience. It's educational, it's cinematic, it appeals to adults, families, everybody in between. But Miss Rachel, on the other hand, is specifically designed for toddlers. I'm talking about the colors, the pacing, the songs, the direct-to-camera engagement. Every creative decision targets children under 5 years old. I'm talking about Miss Rachel specifically. That's the distinction between made for kids and everything else. Okay, so here's why getting this wrong can destroy your channel. If you mark a video made for kids, YouTube automatically disables comments, they remove notifications, they block the save to playlist feature, limit how the video can be recommended, and essentially treats it like content that can't be promoted to anybody over 12 years old. You're not being safe, you're sabotaging your own reach. So unless you're literally making content for toddlers or preschoolers, I'm talking about Sesame Street type stuff or like Miss Rachel style videos with educational songs and nursery rhymes, that world, the answer is no. This is not made for kids every time. Now that's the one with the legal consequences that I needed to get out of the way first. Even though it's a bit of an outlier, a lot of people fall prey to this because YouTube does an awful job of explaining what the heck that means. So luckily, the next issue won't cost you any money, but it could cost you a load of embarrassment. What do I mean by that? Well, at some point, if you plan to keep making videos on YouTube, you're going to accidentally publish something if you haven't already. I've done it a few times in my career between my big channel, luckily not this channel. And once you realize it happened, your stomach will drop, you'll want to throw up because the panic is very real. Now, if you go into settings, it's super easy to fix this. Click on Upload Defaults, then Visibility. By default, YouTube sets your uploads to public. I don't know why, but they do. The moment that you finish uploading and hit Confirm, it goes out to the world. Out to everybody immediately, which is so stupid. Now, here's the thing that people get wrong about accidentally publishing. They're like, well, Adam, I don't upload anything that's like half edited or something like that. Now, obviously, you do all of your editing off of YouTube. I get that way before you ever hit upload. That's not the problem here. The problem is everything else. Your description isn't set up yet. Your tags aren't locked in. Your thumbnail isn't uploaded, especially if you're doing A/B testing. Your title is literally whatever you named the file on your computer. I've seen creators go live with videos on accident that are like final v3 export.mp4 because they didn't realize that their default was set to public. Now, fixing this takes like 2 seconds. Change your default visibility to unlisted. Simple as that. Now, every video that you upload is hidden by default. You could still schedule it. You could still set it to public whenever you want. But what you did is actually added a layer of protection between yourself and one of those inevitable, oh shit moments. All right, so those are 2 settings that protect you from yourself. Now, I want to talk about the first thing that people actually see when they land on your channel and why most creators keep getting this wrong for some reason. If you pull up your channel right now and you look at your homepage, if it looks empty or cluttered or confusing in any way, shape, or form, you are losing subscribers. And I'm not talking about the people that subscribed and then unsubscribed. I'm talking about people that wanted to enjoy the experience and never clicked subscribe because you screwed it up. And I see this every single day, and you probably don't even realize you're doing it. If you open your homepage on your channel, that is your storefront. Keep that in mind. Because when somebody walks in, they should have an enjoyable experience. It needs to be clean, needs to be easy to navigate. You should have enough videos and enough consistency to where it looks healthy, but curated enough, have enough intention behind it so that it guides them to something specific. Now, I see this a lot with early on creators with smaller channels. They get this wrong in a few different ways. The first one that gets under my skin the most is having abandoned playlists as the first thing that you see on your homepage. They created some playlist like 2 years ago, and for some reason, they forgot about it, but they pinned it to the top of their channel. So now that's their first impression to every new visitor. Doesn't look good, does it? Now, the second thing I see is putting your most popular videos in the first line of your channel. Now, it sounds smart, right? But the problem is that your most popular videos are often years old. So somebody lands on your channel and it looks like you haven't uploaded in forever. And that's not the perception that you want. I always recommend putting the newest videos first because people get into what you've currently been doing, not what you worked on 3 years ago. Now, the third mistake I wanted to touch on real quick is putting all of your shorts at the top of your homepage. This just looks ridiculous unless you're a short form content creator. You don't really do long form here on YouTube, but this channel is set up to help long form content creators. So if you primarily do long form, that's what serves your business, your brand, your channel, your goals. Don't put shorts as the top thing because somebody's going to bump into one of your long form videos, come to your main channel and see a wall of 30-second clips, and it's going to be a total mismatch with the audience that you're looking to attract. Keep in mind, short form content attracts distracted attention. Long form content attracts focused attention. Focused attention converts. Distracted attention is worthless. So if somebody discovered you through a 15-minute video, they clicked on your channel, don't confuse them with a wall of shorts. Give them more of what they want. Otherwise, it feels like a completely different channel. Push the shorts down a little bit. If you have them on your main channel, that's fine, but not the first thing people see. Same goes for playlists. Playlists are 100% useful, but they don't need to be the first thing someone sees. Oh, and while you're in there setting up the way that your channel looks, set up a welcome video. You can actually set a different video to play for subscribers versus non-subscribers, which is pretty cool if you think about it. It's just one more way to make a great first impression for the people that land on your channel and don't know who you are yet. It doesn't have to be a welcome video like back in 2014, like, "Hi, I'm Adam Ivy." Animated intro, that type of stuff. This is what I do. This is who I serve. It just needs to be a video that converts viewers into subscribers. And you could find all of that information in your analytics. What video performs the best for your channel, has earned you the most subscribers, make that the video that the non-subscribers see. Then use the other video that you recently did as the welcome video for the subscribers because they already know you. They want to see what you're up to and they want to know what you did most recently. So it's a great way to kind of separate the distinction. One serves your subscribers, one welcomes in the non-subscribers. By the way, I put everything that you need into my Ultimate YouTube Growth Guide, which is a perfect companion for all of my videos here on this channel, and it's totally free. In the last week alone, I've received more than 20 thank you emails, which blows my mind, from creators just like you from around the world who have been using this guide to grow their channels. So if you want to take your channel to the next level, click the link in the description box below, download the guide, and enjoy. Now, obviously, you want your channel banner to be clean. It doesn't need to be overly designed, but just something that's pleasant to look at. Same with your profile photo. It should be you, preferably some type of background that makes you pop off the screen a little bit, not this jumbled AI-generated BS or the logos that you see all over the place that are like so condensed you can't tell what it is. Those things disconnect the viewer from the human experience. And I could go into detail in another video. But anyway, the first couple of lines of your description are shown on your main channel, so that's where you could tell people exactly what they're getting. Guys, this isn't rocket science. For a lot of us, it's common sense, but it's all about being intentional because that's the first impression that people get when they land on our channel. But now I want to jump into talking about YouTube's built-in AI system and why its attempt to help us might actually be costing us traffic from Google. So YouTube can automatically add chapter markers to our videos, which sounds super helpful on the surface, but here's the problem. YouTube labels those chapters based on what we said in the video, not based on what people are actually searching for. If you scroll down on any video page within your YouTube studio, you'll find a Allow Automatic Chapters section. When YouTube auto-generates chapters, it's essentially creating a summarized outline of your content. Generic labels, keywords pulled from the transcripts. It'll also say stuff that blows my mind like discussion, continuation, more information, stuff that means nothing and helps no one. But here's what most creators don't realize. Those chapters get indexed by Google. They could show up in Google search results. If you've ever looked up how to create a healthy recipe, how to build a birdhouse, how to change your own oil, and you see a video pop up, and when you open that video, it starts at like 4 minutes and 10 seconds, that's because the Google indexed that chapter. Whatever that chapter title is why it's showing up in search results, which means your chapter titles are essentially an SEO opportunity, and automatic chapters are wasting that opportunity. So here's what you do instead. I take my transcript and I run it through an AI tool. You can use tools like Taha.ai, which is a paid thing, or just ChatGPT, and tell it to generate chapter titles optimized for Google indexing and YouTube search. Actual search terms, keyword phrases that align with what people are looking for. Now, when somebody Googles a question and a video answer pops up, there's a higher chance that they're going to find my stuff or your stuff because my chapter titles match what their search intent is. Automatic chapters give you generic summary. Manual chapters allow you to get that discoverability. So turn off those automatic chapters and take the 5 minutes that it takes to write your own and control the opportunity that YouTube gives to us, guys. Like, seriously, it doesn't take much time. People argue with me all the time. I'm like, well, why would I do that if it's automatic? Because if you care, you're going to do it. And that's the first AI feature that you should disable. Now, there's another one right below that, and I'd argue that it matters even more because this one's actually about your safety. And what I'm talking about is the next setting, which is called featured places. If you've ever filmed at your house, your office, within your neighborhood, anywhere that you go regularly, you should turn this off immediately. Featured places allows YouTube to detect and display location information from your videos, where you filmed, places that you mentioned, landmarks that are visible inside the video within the background even. If you're a travel vlogger that showcases all these different destinations and do some cool travel stuff, maybe there's some value there. But for everybody else, you're giving YouTube permission to attach real-world locations to your content, which is kind of scary because it's public, it's permanent. And just think about it for a second. Your apartment complex, per se, maybe the local gym that you go to, the coffee shop where you work out of every Tuesday morning. Once that metadata is burnt into the video, anybody can see it. And I know that a lot of us don't have channels big enough for anybody to care, but hopefully one day we do. And regardless, people can hunt you down. You never know what you're dealing with somebody on the other side of the screen. So it's just a safety thing. I would say turn it off. The upside is non-existent to 99.9% of creators, unless you're making content about a specific location, like I mentioned, or you have a channel that promotes your coffee shop or promotes a gym or promotes maybe a car dealership, for example. The downside is someone knowing exactly how to find you. Same goes for automatic concepts right below it. Now, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on automatic concepts because it's just another AI feature that's built in that attempts to be helpful, but it's more confusing and adds a little bit of clutter more than anything. If something within your video needs added context, add it yourself. Simple as that. Nobody cares about your stuff more than you do. So don't be lazy and just expect an algorithm that you feel is already against you anyway to figure it out for you and be beneficial. So those are the settings that I would adjust immediately and what I have adjusted on all of my videos where YouTube is actively working against us. Now I want to talk about one where the problem is entirely you. And honestly, this one might hit close to home. Now I'm going to be super transparent with you guys for a second. So my last video on this channel, like the one right before this video, underperformed horribly. And it was totally my fault. When I went back in and figured out why, I realized I hadn't changed this one setting. And even though I was annoyed, it ended up being a really good reminder and one reason I wanted to build it into this video. So if you go into your YouTube studio, click on any video, if you scroll past your description, past your tags, past your playlists, you're going to find a checkbox that says publish to subscriptions feed and notify subscribers. And as you can see, it's checked by default. And depending on what type of content you're posting, it might need to be unchecked. Now here's why. When you post a video, the first thing that YouTube does is show it to a sample of your existing subscribers and watches what happens. Do they click? Do they watch? Do they leave in the first 8 seconds? That initial data shapes everything as far as your reach. How aggressively YouTube pushes the video, who else sees it, whether or not it dies in the first 48 hours like I talk about all the time, or whether it builds momentum for weeks. Now here's my situation. About 70% of all the content that I post here on this channel is what I call broad spectrum, right? It can help anybody trying to grow on YouTube. But about 30% of my content goes way deeper. It's specifically for entrepreneurs or business-minded creators, people who might actually work with me at some point. Now here's the problem. A lot of my subscribers aren't entrepreneurs. A lot of you guys watching this are not entrepreneurs. They're struggling creators trying to get views, and I'm trying to help them dig out of the mud. Some of them are running AI-generated content channels, faceless channels, reaction channels, gaming content. Maybe they only focus on posting shorts, whatever. They subscribed because my broad spectrum content helped them, since I don't gatekeep anything because nobody pays me for information, they pay me for implementation. But my entrepreneur-focused videos, They don't care. That's not their world. So when I upload content specifically for entrepreneurs and have that checkbox ticked, YouTube shows it to subscribers who have no interest in that topic whatsoever. They don't click. They're not interested. Some might click and then they leave immediately when they realize, oh, this isn't for me. Now YouTube thinks that the video is the problem. And it's not that the video is the problem. It's not that the video doesn't work. It's that I showed it to the wrong people first. So my last upload, I was in a rush. I forgot to uncheck that box. Mistakes happen. And that video is still sitting right now, just over 1,000 views, maybe like 1,200 views as of recording this video, substantially lower than the normal amount of views that I get on this channel. So if you're posting anything that might not resonate with your full subscriber base, uncheck that box. Let the algorithm find the right audience organically. With that being said, that problem was 100% my fault, and I share it with you so you guys can avoid the same thing. But here's one that's on your viewers. And if you're not managing it, it might affect how YouTube sees your content. Now, if you've been on YouTube for more than a few months, you've seen comments like this. They say things like, small creators gather here, or let's all support each other. And it sounds harmless on the surface, but it's not. It's actually disgusting. So if you go into settings and go into your community, scroll to blocked words. But you know what? More on that in a second, because here's what's actually happening within those comments. They're a modern day like follow for follow BS strategy that's 100% toxic, not only to those channels, but to your channel. People trying to leech engagement off of your video without adding any value. And I got to be real here. At first, I didn't even know. I would interact with those comments. I thought it was community building. I'm like, wait a minute. All of a sudden you start seeing like, oh, it's the same comment. Oh, that's the same type of comment. And then like one comment has 50 responses with the same type of comment. Like, what is going on here? It's awful, guys. It's just noise, and worse, it attracts more noise. And beyond that, you'll get actual spam. People promoting their services, their brands, other channels, scams sometimes. Comments that have nothing to do with your content and everything to do with hijacking your audience's attention. Now, here's how to fix that. You figure out what unique verbiage these comments are using. There's a couple brands. I'm not going to say them in this video, but it would be like, your video is incredibly helpful. I use fill in the blank to do XYZ, XYZ. I'm like, the first couple times I'm like, oh, cool. It's like a tool. And then all of a sudden you get a ton. Whatever patterns that you're seeing in your niche, you need to add those exact words or phrases to your blocked words list. I go and see whatever comments are held maybe once every other week. And I'm like, oh, there's like 50 of these in one day. They just like bombed all my videos with this one word. YouTube will automatically filter out those comments once they see what words you have blocked. And they'll never see the light of day. They won't go live, and it's, crisis diverted. Now, the thing I really appreciate about that tool specifically is it gives me some time back, because when I go in to answer as many comments as I can, I get up at 5 in the morning. We have a 5-month-old son, so I'm up really early. A lot of you guys will see that's when I respond to YouTube comments. I don't have to waste time like blocking this person, changing this setting, reporting for spam. Oh, got more of this. I could just get into the people that are actually leaving genuine questions. It's like you set a trap once and it works forever with a little bit of moderation or a little bit of modification here and there when you see new brands and new things pop up. And I want to jump back to those super generic comments, the follow for follow thing. If these become overwhelming, just block the user by selecting hide from channel. I've had to do this hundreds of times on this channel already, and this channel is still relatively small. Side note, also check the box that blocks links from new commenters, right? So there's a box in the settings that allows you to just block any URL. Now, there might be people that are trying to share their channel with you, and I do understand that. You could still see those in the blocked or held comments, and then you could go live if it's something appropriate. But that one kills most of the spam before it ever starts. I think it's a godsend that they added it. Obviously, YouTube had a problem with it for a long time, and that's why they added that setting, because your comment section is part of your viewer's experience. If you have a cluttered, spammy, just unenjoyable comment section, it makes your whole channel look amateur. And a clean, oh man, I can't tell you about how many great conversations I've had in just a clean comment section. And that's where people are paying attention. That's where you care about your audience the most within that community building, because obviously YouTube is not social media. That's where you can interact with your people. So treat it like it matters, because it does. All right, so it feels like we've been playing defense this entire video so far, which is a little annoying, stopping all the bad things from happening, changing things that shouldn't be that way to begin with, right? Now I want to shift gears into being Proactive, right? There's a setting that almost nobody talks about, but it might be one of the most important signals that you could send to YouTube. Session time is by far the least talked about but most important metric on YouTube. And if you're not engineering for that attention and that intention, you're leaving massive opportunities on the table and you're slowing down your channel growth. Now, to get you up to speed, session time is the total amount of time that somebody spends on YouTube after clicking your video, not just the watch time on that one video that they found, the total time on the platform. So if somebody watches one of your videos and then watches 3 more of your videos, that's a very strong session time, and YouTube's going to love you for it. You kept somebody on their platform, and in their eyes, you're now a valuable creator because of it. Now, if somebody watches one of your videos and immediately closes the app, that's a signal too, and not a good one. Now, this is how we're going to leverage this and increase our session time easily, and it's very straightforward. It's with end screens. Now, go to any video, click edit, scroll down, and you're going to see end screen. You get 20 seconds at the end of any long form video to add a clickable element such as another video, playlists, and obviously a subscribe button. That goes without saying. You need to add at least one of these elements to the end of your videos. You can let YouTube auto-select what it thinks is going to perform best. You can manually choose a specific video or playlist to funnel people directly towards. And here's why it matters so much. If you don't give your viewers a clear path to what's next, you're leaving that decision up to YouTube. And let's be honest, they already have 15 different options when they're watching your videos. So either they're going to watch somebody else's videos or they're going to leave the platform completely. Now, I think the crazy part is if only 2 or 3% of your total viewers click that end screen, that becomes a substantial amount of people over the course of a month or a year as your channel grows that went from one of your videos to another one of your videos. Those are the people that are building trust fast. Those are the people that actually are buying into what you're doing. The people that become fans, the people that become customers. But here's what I need you guys to understand. Fixing all of these settings that I reviewed in this video is not going to make your channel explode overnight. But without making these changes, you will 100% stay stuck. Simple as that. Speaking of which, if you're ready to go all in on your YouTube channel, watch this video next. And if you haven't yet, click that little subscribe button to join the channel family here. Hit me with any questions that you have in the comments below. And until next time, I appreciate you watching.